Aren't you fed up of blowing up at people? I'm talking about always going off on everybody, giving everybody a piece of your mind, but you're only left with just a piece of your mind, but no peace of mind. Aren't you just tired of that? I'm talking about people who are just totally, you say they make you sick, and now you over there coughing with a runny nose. You talk about people getting on your last nerves, and here's what you're down to. You're literally down to your last nerve. Got to stop blowing up. You have to move into a particular place to where you are finding your center of gravity, to not allow other people to push your buttons. Because here's the thing, when people push your buttons like you're an elevator, I guarantee you they won't take you to a higher floor. It'll always be lower. And when they go low, don't go lower, but find a way to go higher. That's why today I want to talk about don't blow up. Yeah. How to deal with emotional landmines. One of the things is that if you're going to deal with emotional landmines, if you're going to overcome emotional landmines, one of those things is that you have to get to a place to where you say, I'm getting off the roller coaster. And here's what I understand about landmines. A landmine is really, it's something that's buried below the surface. It's buried, or maybe it's just surface level, but it detonates in the presence or the proximity of a particular individual. Here's what I'm saying. How do you respond when certain people come around? You become a ticking time bomb because they tick you off. Listen about the landmine. It's something that's either below the surface or surface level, and it detonates when someone comes around it. It detonates when somebody, their foot touches it, when they are now in proximity to it. Some of us are living our life on a surface level. There's no depth to us. And because we're living our life on a surface level, we're always going off on other people. Here's why. Because number one, we're on a roller coaster. You got to get off the roller coaster. You have to get off the emotional roller coaster, as Vivian Green said. Loving you has never helped me. Loving you was never good for me, is what she said. Because it was a twist of ups and downs. It was highs and lows. And a lot of times there's more lows than it was highs. Isn't it interesting? The person who causes you the most joy, the person who gives you the most joy is oftentimes the same person who gives you the most pain. The person who brings the most zest and zeal and love into your life is oftentimes the person who you are now dealing with the most vitriolic rage and hate with and hate against. You got to get off the roller coaster. You have to get off of the emotional aspect of the crying and lying and whining and whimpering and the woe is me and the gaslighting and the manipulation and the narcissism and all the skepticism. Get off the roller coaster and say, listen, I'm getting off this ride. The ride is making you dizzy. It's making you dizzy. It's now giving you vertigo when you need to be vertical. It's giving you vertigo and you can't even go to the next level. It's got you going all around and around and around when you're not going up. It's got you going in circles. Got you now moving in particular places and spaces that you know you don't even need to be a part of. You don't even need to be involved in. You need to be social distancing yourself from those particular type of individuals. Don't blow up. If you're going to deal with emotional landmines, here's the thing you got to do. You have to get off the roller coaster. You got to get off the roller coaster. Secondly, you have to decide that you're not going to allow people to detonate you. Decide not to detonate. What I mean by that, decide to not explode. Stop exploding on other people. Listen, you're going to be in traffic sometimes, and some of us already are. We're in traffic, and somebody now is trying to be Sonic the Hedgehog. They trying to be a speed racer. They trying to bob and weave through traffic, and they flip you the bird. How do you respond to that? A lot of times we're sitting on our horn. We're now cussing folks out. We're now giving people a piece of our mind, as I mentioned, to only be left with just a piece of your mind, but no piece of mind. We've allowed people to detonate us because we decided to say, all right, we're going to go back and forth with them. We're reacting and not responding. The response now says, I'm not going to be conformed to this world, but I'm going to be transformed by the renewing of my mind. The response says, when you go low, I'm not going to go lower. I'm going to go higher. You got to come up to my level. I'm not coming down to yours. The response is this: me understanding that the first part of ignorance is pronounced ignore. I'm going to ignore the ignorance. I'm not going to allow landmines to affect my mind. I'm not going to engage in grenades of guerrilla warfare, not going back and forth with people. I'm going to get my mindset to another level, into another dimension. I'm not going to allow people to detonate me. Decide not to detonate. Here's what you have to do instead of detonating. You have to start creating. Creating now lanes and opportunities of greater joy and greater peace and greater increase. Getting off the roller coaster. Deciding not to detonate. Not blowing up. Dealing with the emotional landmines by. Thirdly, here's how you deal with emotional landmines. You deal with emotional landmines with emotional regulation. That's how you deal with emotional landmines. You deal with emotional landmines by emotional regulation, by emotional maturity. I'm going to let you act up. I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to let you be foolish all you want to be. But when you argue with a fool, it's hard to tell who's who. I'm willing to walk away because it ain't a loss for me. It's a loss for you. It's a lesson for me to learn not to entangle with people like you. It ain't a loss, it's a lesson. Really, the lesson now becomes a blessing. You escaped that situation. You got out of Dodge. You moved to a greater place. You shifted to another realm and to another level, to another dimension. That's the emotional regulation. The emotional regulation is the emotional maturity. The emotional regulation is the emotional wellness. It is you saying, I love me too much to not allow you to raise my blood pressure. Who am I talking to? I hope it's you. I know it's you. I love me too much to not allow you to increase my heart rate. I'm going to make sure that I don't have any stress that is inside of me. I'm releasing all anger. I'm releasing all rage. I'm releasing all wrath. I'm releasing all bitterness. I forgive you even without an apology. Now, do you see right there? You don't implode now. You don't explode now. You now move into a place of emotional regulation. I can I can breathe and believe. I can now tap into my emotional wellness and my feelings to say, what is it that is triggering me? What is it that is bothering me? I remember watching a show, an episode of Family Matters some time ago, and you talk about somebody being detonated. You talk about being on an emotional roller coaster. Boy, Steve Urkel sure had Carl Winslow on an emotional roller coaster, didn't he? He had Carl Winslow's emotions all up and down. He was able to detonate his emotions all of a sudden. Whenever Urkel came around, yeah, Carl Winslow was rolling his eyes. Carl Winslow was getting fed up. Carl Winslow's heart rate was increasing. Yeah, I remember Carl Winslow was talking to a counselor or something like that, a psychologist, and he was wondering, how do I deal with Steve Urkel? The counselor said to Carl Winslow, you gotta just count. You gotta take some deep breaths and you gotta count. You gotta say 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What in the world is bothering me? 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What in the world is bothering me? Whenever Steve would come around, he began to say that. He got a little huffed. He got still a little puffed, but he was able to move into a greater place of regulation. And he knew who was bothering him. But here's the greater part of it. You've got to ask yourself, why? Why does this person trigger you? Why does this situation trigger you? What is the depth of it? I got to peel back the layers to find out what is causing the bomb to detonate. Back in the day, what they were saying, you the bomb, but literally, are you a walking time bomb? Are you a ticking time bomb? Because you have no emotional regulation, because you blow up, because you have landmines that affect your mind, because you're engaged in guerrilla grenades, you're using grenades of guerrilla warfare, because you haven't gotten off the roller coaster. Time for imploding, time for exploding on others is over. Now is a time for you to move into a greater place of regulation. And you only move into a greater place of regulation when you have a revelation of who it is that you are. Revelation that you can now move into a place of peace and increase and joy and empowerment, and moving into a place of stillness and serenity and tranquility and maintaining your integrity and not fighting fire with fire. You don't fight fire with fire. You fight fire with water. You put it out. You put it out. And you keep on moving out into a greater place and space of where you're called to be. Listen, I want you to join the most transformative online community of empowerment and of mentorship. Go there right now on theeaglesacademy.com. It's where I'm coaching, is where I'm teaching, is where I'm training, is where I'm mentoring, is where I'm empowering you to do more, to become more, to make more. Ideas, impact, and influence. You've got to get into a community that's going to foster your growth and your development. That's now going to give you the strategies, the steps, the tools, the tips, the principles of how to move into a greater place of transformation. I know I'm talking to you. I want you to go right now to theeaglesacademy.com. Theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, enroll now. Fill out the form. I guarantee you're going to be transformed. I know you were transformed by this conversation. I want you to make a donation. Yeah, make a donation to the work that I'm doing, not just online, but offline, where my sleeves are rolled up in the community. I'm working, I'm serving, I'm feeding, I'm mentoring, I'm empowering, I'm building our young brothers through my Boys to Books mentoring and literacy program, literacy, leadership, life skills enrichment. Make a donation. We've had a healthy, wonderful conversation. Make a donation on Cash App, $Dr. Eddie Ministries, on PayPal, info@EddieConnor.com, and then even on Zelle, EddieConnorJr @gmail.com. You giving more helps me to give more in a greater way. Your giving helps me to imbibe transforming and living in our community. Thank you so much for your donation and for your support. Once again, you giving helps me to give back in a greater way. I hope you were transformed by this conversation. Drop a thumbs up, put a thumbs up on this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I've been growing your greatness. Help me grow our channel for change, our channel that creates change, our channel that breaks chains. Yes. Follow me on all social sites at EddieConnorJr, EddieConnorJr. I appreciate all of your support. Let me know what you thought about the show in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about the show in the comments below. Real quickly, just type "don't blow up." Type "don't blow up" in the comments. If this resonated with you, type "don't blow up." Yeah, you're moving to a greater place of emotional regulation. Type "don't blow up." Let me know what you thought about the show in the comments below. On your mark, get set, go. Now you know I gotta go, but I want you to know it's yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, yo brother. And I mean that from another mother. Family has been fun, but you know I really gotta run. So I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you to remember to keep the faith and believe. It's going to be bigger, better, brighter. Peace and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring.